All right, so I was filming in New Orleans during the Super Bowl week. Yeah, not the Super Bowl. We were there during the Super Bowl week with the Falcons or the Falcons organization in Delta, and it was actually pretty great. But this shirt came from that. I mean, I thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for just looking out.
They heard it was his birthday. Like your birthday was a couple of days before the Super Bowl, so they were just like treating him so great.
It was good. I'm not gonna lie. But again,
let's go back to like you get to film with the Falcons at an organization with them, and that's so cool. Like, see, he just like slides right over that. You know,
I know. I don't know. But it's a lot of cool things I get to do, and I'm really blessed and really proud of it.
Yeah, but it's a cool shirt. I say it's like a keepsake.
It is.
Tell us about what it was like being down there for Super Bowl
weekend. So in New Orleans, it was crazy because there was so much presence of like military and Homeland Security and the entire New Orleans like police department. Like I showed you the video like of how many motorcycles are out there because we actually got to stay in the Eagles hotel. So I'm sorry, their base hotel or their home hotel. So there was so much going on. Like there were, I can't count, I maybe like 30 or 35 different motorcycle police officers out there. And it was insane because when the bus came around the back that was taking the players to the practice facilities and back. And I think it was like 3 big charter buses, but they would go towards the back and you knew they were coming because everything shut down. You heard so many sirens. You heard so many motorcycles. You had so many unmarked cars. You had so many Suburbans. It was like, I was like, this is like the president or something like that here. But just in general, in like New Orleans, like they had a lot of barriers. They had hotels closed off, doors were closed off. Like the entire city got a remake or a renovation because I didn't see any graffiti. There were new murals growing up. They were completely stripping out grass, like in the medians. The grass was gone. It was all mulch. I'm like, I came here an hour ago and this was grass here. Completely stripped it out. It was all mulch, brown mulch. The city was spotless. I mean, Bourbon Street still smelled like Bourbon Street. I'm sorry. But everything else besides like where you would normally walk, like that it was what I mean.
You even said like
live, man.
But I know you would tell me even in front of the hotels because of the situation that had happened.
Yeah, even in front of the hotel. So they had barriers that came in and there was no vehicles that could park directly next to a hotel. So like if you're on the main strip, I forgot what the name of that strip is. You're on the main strip, there was the hotel, there was the sidewalk, and it was like a barrier that had like these metal gates and security guards sitting on it, and you had to show if you needed to get close to a hotel and make a delivery, you had to go through security. And in like at the corner of those barriers and securities right there, there were like armed forces with like AK-47s. Like we were walking down to Bourbon Street. We were going to get something to eat. And we were walking, we were literally bumping in the shoulders and an AK-47, like the butts of the gun, like hitting us on the shoulder. Cause I'm like, there was so many of them.
Wow.
There's a really cool shot that hopefully I could include inside here where like the Budweiser, the Clydesdales came. And that was cool because it's a lot of stuff that happens. I didn't realize that like when the Super Bowl takes over a city, like how much happens to that city. I mean, they were like installations and pretty much what those are like, imagine you have a park. Say out here we have a park and it had open areas in the park. They then bring complete construction teams in and build out complete sets in restaurants and such like. So Tostitos had one, Doritos had one, and anybody under that brand, because I know it's like Tostitos, Doritos, and like Cool Ranch Doritos. Just think about everything under that brand had different stores and literally different stores that were like restaurants with chairs, walls, roofs.
Just for that event.
Just for that event.
Wow.
And it had stages where there were different performances going on. And I was like, man, I didn't realize. And I was talking to one of the individuals there at the organization. They said the economic impact from a Super Bowl when it hits a city, it's unheard of because it's like every single business is going to like triple, multiply, like it's multiples of what they're doing on a regular basis. Wow. And it continues on because the trickle effect of like people coming in, people hanging out for a little while, people now realizing that they're here and they're coming back, for tourism later. But Super Bowl has impact.
Was it crazy crowded as far as being there during that week? Because you got there, what, Monday?
We got there. Did we get Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember. But when we first got there, you could move about. There was a lot of traffic. But as the week went on, because we left on Thursday, it was absolutely insane. Like to go a mile, it was like 30 minutes. So we just got out, like we got Ubers, but we just got out and just walked. It was like, forget it. It doesn't make any sense, at that point. So everybody was walking back and forth, but the presence of like the officers and stuff like that increased. So it was staggering the security as it goes on because more people were coming in and more security were coming in. So during the week, again, you could walk about, you could go to a restaurant, you get a table. I would say by Wednesday night, because we did go out to eat Wednesday night, we got in and we walked out of the restaurant and the line was wrapped around the block.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everybody was there to eat,
That's crazy. What was it like to get into I know you actually went to the facility where the Super Bowl was happening.
No, it wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't the Superdome, but we did go to the convention center where they had the NFL experience. And that was insane because
Tell me about it. What did you do?
I know. I'm trying.
You see, he just like downplays it.
I downplay it. I do.
Here.
So we had some behind the scenes access before it was even open to the public. It opened to the public, I believe, at 1. We got there like 10. So we were able to go in and they had different events and stuff going on for the students and such. But everything I'm talking about, from like when you're throwing the ball, quarterback challenges, running back challenges, museums, they had every Super Bowl ring on display. Helmets decorated in like Swarovski, the crystals. They had different like drafts. They had people there podcasting. They had episodes going on ESPN. It was like so much stuff. Like they had open fields in there, actual fields in there, field goals, field goal kicks, like all kind of things that you could think about. It had every jersey and player, like as far as like statue of every NFL team in like this hall. It was like a lot of cool stuff. It was really cool. The other thing that was really cool about it was the fact that they had an NFL experience shop. And this is where this came from. But you got to go in there and you got to like pick out like different things that you would not get anywhere else because it was only there at that particular time. So it was
again cool.
I'm just saying, I'm downplaying it.
Yes, I just think it was so cool.
It was.
You get to work with some really like big clients and you don't ever talk about it.
Well,
like, I mean you talk about after the fact. I was like, why aren't you
a lot of stuff you can't, you're under obligation where you can't share a lot until it's done because for some reasons. But I would say that was a cool experience. It was. And the boys are like, wait, you're in the Super Bowl. I was like, the Super Bowl isn't happening, not yet. But I did get to see some players moving about. Did get to see I forgot the name, Ochoa. I forgot his name. Sorry. But you saw he was actually staying in a hotel. The Eagles were staying in a hotel. I did see Kelsey's brother. We were at the Four Seasons meeting, the Delta CMO. And he was there eating. I did see Avery Johnson from the Suns. If you guys are basketball fans, I saw him. Saw some other people, some other coaches. It was like just people everywhere. It was crazy. And I didn't realize Avery Johnson is that tall. Like he's actually pretty tall. Well, compared to me, he's pretty tall. Yeah. But it was cool. It was cool.
Fun experience.
I'm just saying.
And a lot of people would be like, I want to go.
I know.
Cool beans.
So yeah, man. So that was cool.
Nothing lasts forever.